let's talk about something that drives all of us. Money. You with me? At least one person is good. All right. So I know some of you come from families of money. Some of you might not have as much money as others. That's kind of that's the name of the game, right? Hey, so let's talk about how our money can grow. And I know there's all types of different ways to make money grow. But a lot of times when an example is given, it seems kind of like a far off goal because you might not be able to fathom the actual money value. Okay, hey guys. So we're going to take a little trip through the Standard & Poor's. That is the top 500 companies in America. Okay. Now, you might be company 498 one year, so you're part of the Standard & Poor's or S&P. And then the following year might be company 505, which means you're not part of the S&P. But we're going to talk about something that I learned long ago, and it's something called a mutual fund. Now, trust me, I have heard, and I know people who in 1982 bought 100 shares of Apple. You know, your phone people and computers and all that kind of stuff. And when they first bought it, this was a penny stock, meaning in order for you to buy a share, portion of it, it was under $1. And these people are multi-millionaires now. Okay? So we all agree that sometimes someone out there makes the right choice and gets lucky. Agree? But I don't think it happens to everybody. So we have just been subjected to the past couple years of, oh, if you just invested in Bitcoin. But now what's Bitcoin doing these days? Yeah, is it gone down a lot? I didn't even check. How much? It's like at 22? What was it? Look, you have your computer there. Can you go?
It's at 22,000.
Okay, but it got up to what?
It dropped $1,000 in one day. It dropped $1,000 today. And
Just today?
Max is
68?
Max was 63,000.
63,000. Okay. Okay. So basically what that means is the person who bought into Bitcoin when it was like $1 is still very well off if they still holding on to it, to sell it. The person who bought in at 68,000 is lost a great deal of money. But what basically things will do as far as corporations. Now I don't have a glass globe I can look into, glass ball, and say, oh, I know what's going to happen. But I do know that just markets in general are going to be doing this over time. This is basically what a mutual fund or just anything in the Standard & Poor's, thanks so much, is going to do over time. And when I say time, I'm talking about usually years. And it also could be decades. Okay? So, I was brought up in a kind of a blue collar home. Dad didn't have a college degree. Dad went to Vietnam, spent 2 tours in Vietnam, and then just opened his own business to do carpet, draperies, and wallpaper. And it did pretty well for quite some time. And then when 1988 hit, he filed both corporate and personal bankruptcy. And basically what happened when he filed corporate and personal bankruptcy, we got to keep our house and we got to keep 2 of our cars. Okay? The boat got taken away. The boat was a sweet boat. I don't know if you all know anything about boats, but he had a Boston Whaler. Boston Whaler. He had Trip 4-cylinder outboard engines on it. Okay? So he had 3 engines out of the back of the boat. They were 4-cylinder each. So he had 12 cylinders cranking for this boat. It was an awesome boat. The hot air balloon we had deflated. It got taken away. The car that mom and dad provided me went bye-bye. And then everything that my parents had in savings, including my college account. And my college account, my parents put into it, I put into it, and my grandparents put into it. That all went bye-bye. Okay? So, this is late 1988, early 1989, my senior year in high school. Okay? And this sucked. It was hard. It was really hard. So then what happened was I was the class of 1989. Class of 1989 to graduate. And I had this much money. Oops. I had this much money to go to college. Okay? So, I will tell you that there was roughly this much in my college savings for me to go to college. And you're like, dude, that's not that much. At the time, college was only $1,200 per year. Okay? So I had plenty to go to college. I had. It was not protected through bankruptcy laws, and this was gone. So I went from saying pretty much all my college is paid for to figure it out, son. Okay? It sucked. So things that I did that I realized that my dad had done that I was not going to do is I never wanted to owe money. I wanted to, if I had the money to do it, I would do it. If I didn't have the money to do it, I was not going to finance it. Okay? Well, at the time, when I was in high school, I was working for a car wash. And we did detail and lube and oil. Okay? So basically, the car wash sales that I did, I was making a whopping $5.50 an hour plus commission. So if I sold the $15 car wash, I got $1 commission. Anything I sold as far as detail for a car, I got 10% commission. And lube and oils, I got 50 cents a piece. Okay? Pretty simple. I mean, basically, someone would pull up, hey, I need an oil change. And if you got an oil change to replace, you got a car wash that came with it. So, oh, you need an oil change? Great. What kind of car wash should I? We'll take care of the $6 car wash, and I would try and upsell to the $10 car wash or the $15 car wash, both giving me commission. So what had happened is, because I was young, I wasn't, people that worked at the car wash, kids, you weren't really making that much money. So a lot of the times, the federal filing was exempt. for taxes. Okay, we didn't make enough money. But as a salesman making $5.50 an hour plus $1 for every $15 car wash I sold, 10% on any detail work I sold, 50 cents on every lube and oil I sold, I would say on any given Saturday, I would make an extra 200 for the car washes. I would probably make an extra 300 for the detail work, and I would probably make an extra 150 for the lube and oils. Okay, and I kid you not. I mean, and I know these number values are kind of meaningless today because it's like that's not all that much money. You're absolutely right. But back then, I made big money. So my senior year, after my senior year in high school, going into my freshman year in college, I had enough money to pay for my college first semester, but I was going to school. I was only making enough money to really go to school part-time. Okay. So here came tax season, and my grandfather on my mother's side was an auditor for the IRS. So he always did our taxes. And I made $31,000 that particular year selling car washes, lube and oil, and detail work. And because the car wash was just making everybody exempt, I owed the federal government money in taxes. Basically, my grandfather was like, "What do you mean you're exempt?" Well, that's what the car wash. And my grandpa was ticked that they were marking people as exempt, and I'm making too much money to be exempt. So grandpa came to me and said, "Okay, we were doing your taxes, and you owe the United States government $2,500. And of course, I'm thinking, but what's going to pay for my college? Like, yeah, I made great money, but I needed to, there was expenses I had. And I was like, I'm going to have a hard time coming up with that $2,500 because I have college tuition that's due. So my grandpa said, "Okay, we're going to start you a retirement account." And at the time, it was called a tax sheltered annuity, TSA, not Homeland Security. Okay, so my grandpa said, "Here's the nice thing. You can put up to $2,000 into this TSA, and that basically means that you're only going to owe the federal government $500. He goes, "But here's the kicker. You have to wait to touch that money when you're 59 and a half." And of course, I'm sitting there at 18 years old going, "But I want the money now." Well, it was either pay the federal government $2,500 or put the money away towards me for a retirement account and pay the government $500. So I was out the $2,500 no matter what. I just had to figure out where I was going to put, how I was going to protect the money so I'm going to have the money later. Well, now I'm 52 years old, so I'm 7.5 years away from being able to touch this money. Okay, now that account has changed over the years. Okay, because as your job changes, you change to different types of accounts that you are allowed to save for retirement with. So I've rolled that original money about 4 different times into different accounts to keep me quote unquote legal with the federal government. Okay, and it's worked. Okay, so that's what I have done. Now, if we take just a basic look at, the S&P 500, and I look over the maximum amount of time. So basically, the Standard & Poor's started in 1983. And if you look at the graph, you can see that that money has grown. Now, it looks like it peaked out. It had peaked here, and it's dropped a little bit. Now it's starting to come back up. But figure this. This is about where I started investing in Standard & Poor's. When Standard & Poor's was basically, in order for me to invest in the mutual funds in it, was at $384 per share. And if I go to today's share, that $384 is $4,045 per share. So my money and my investments grew drastically. But what was on my side was time. And this is where you guys have. You have time. It's really hard for me to tell you guys at, 16 to 18 years old, some of you might even approach 19, that look to your future investment of your retirement, and it's going to pay off. Okay? So Standard & Poor's over the long haul comes in right about 9% is what the money has done. Yes, there are peaks and there are valleys. Okay? So the unfortunate thing is when people look at this is the 1 month of the returns. It's looking pretty cruddy. If I look at the 6-month returns, it's higher than it was. If I look at year to date, it looks like it's coming up. If I look at the past year, it went down. If I look at the past 5 years, it's come up. Okay, it's continuing to grow. So you want to think about how time can work for you towards retirement. And I have a pretty simple plan that we're going to look at, and we'll work with this a little bit more later in the semester. Okay, so let me just do this. Let me go second, memory reset, all RAM, reset. All right, so let's go back into apps, go back into finance, and go back into something called the TVM solver. Okay, so let's target maybe a goal. Let's target something that could start this summer. Okay, gives you a little time to think about this. Okay, many of you are coming towards the end of high school. A couple of you still have another year and a few months to go. So you're getting done with high school. So from age 18 to age 25 is 7 years, and there are 12 months in a year. So that's 84 months. Okay, so what I'm basically doing is I'm going from 18 to 25 years old. And that was 84 months. Now, from 18 to 25, you're not necessarily in your big money career making years. Agree? Yeah. Is that a fair assessment? Okay. But what I want you to do or think about doing is I want you to put $100 per month into large cap mutual funds. Okay? These are not individual stocks. Certainly you could research really hard and find stocks that you want to invest in, and it's possible that stock will grow. It's possible that stock will drop. Okay? Large cap mutual funds basically means that you're dealing with the Standard & Poor's, the S&P 500, the top 500 producing companies in America. And the top 500 companies in America have a big goal in mind. They want to make money. Agree? This is going to, over the lifetime of what it has done, looks like about 9%. Yes, there are times there are valleys. So the maddening thing is if you put money in today and the market drops a little bit tomorrow, your money that you put in is worth less. But you're investing this $100 every month. Okay? So let me go back to my calculator. So we said $100 a month. We said this is going to earn us 9%. We have a previous value of $0 because we started with nothing. And now we're going to put $100 a month in. And I want to figure out my future value. So I go alpha enter or alpha solve. 84 months. Did I do that right? Payment. Hang on, I'm off. Why am I off? 84 months. $100 payment, future value. Oh, that's where my mistake is. Payments per year, that has to be a 12. If that becomes a 12, that one becomes a 12. Now I got to find my future value. So I'm giving you a false sense of how your money is going to grow. So basically that means that from 18 to 25, 84 months, $100 a month, 84 times 100 is $8,400. So you basically made $3,000 on your money during that time. Okay. So it's now at 11,642. Okay. So we're going to continue to let this money grow. You can't sit there and say, oh, Stirrup, that's not even close to $1 million. You're absolutely right. Okay. So now for the next 84 months, or actually let's do this a little bit further. So from 18 to 25. So now from 25 to 35, you're talking about 10 years. So this is 120 months. From 25 to 35, you're definitely making more money than you did from 18 to 25. Okay. You perhaps are settling down, starting a family, possibly having dual incomes if you chose to get married or be with a significant other. You have two people that are doing this. So this is where we're going to have a little bit more money, and we're going to say, you know what? We're going to turn our $100 a month into $300 per month for 120 months. But we still had that original money in there. Okay, so our money's going to grow. So we went to 120 months. So I'm going to move this up. 120 months. We're still pulling the 9%. Our starting value now is $11,642. Now we're going to start doing $300 a month. Okay? So at $300 a month, so when we get to age 35, payment, sorry, I screwed up. 300, I need to move down one. I'm going to do this. So now I have $86,594.67 in the account. Now let's think about this real quick. So 120 times 300, 000, 36. My original $100 a month plus the 8,400. Got 0, 0, 4. That's 14. Carry the 4. So I've invested $44,400 from age 18 to 35 now. So my $44,400 is worth more than double or close to double of what it had been. Okay, but it's still continuing to grow. Agree? All right, so now for the next 120 months, so let's change this. So from age 35 to age 45, we're still making good money. I'm going to change this now to $400 per month. Which is another $40,000 that I'm investing. And take it back, take it back, take it back. Somebody with the calculator, 120 times 400.
48.
48,000? 48,000 plus 44,400.
Plus 44,400,
Yep.
92,400.
Okay, so at this point, you're age 45 and you have now invested $92,400 into the market. Okay, so we're going to change this. We're going to change this value here to the 86,594.67.
Haven't you lost money then? If you invested 94.
Oh, not yet. I haven't done the investment yet.
Oh, okay. I was like, how does that work?
So I changed to 400 a month, right? Now I'm going to go alpha, enter. So now my 84,000 is 290,000 almost. Okay. So I'm approaching the $300,000 mark where I've put 92,000. So I'm tripling my money right now. I'm tripling what my investment starting at age 18 has done. Okay. So now let's get into our big heyday of life. Okay. Where the big money starts coming in. So from age 45 to age 60. So from age 45 to age 60. So you're talking 15 years. So what's 15 times 12? 180. Now we're going to start putting $500 per month in for the last 15 years that we're going to work. Okay. 180 and 500. Okay. So I'm changing this up here to 180. This goes 289,680.16. We changed our payment to 500 a month. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go down here and we're going to go second solve. Oops. Alpha solve, sorry. And that puts us at $1,300,000. But it gets better. Okay, so we're millionaires now at age 60. What's 180 times 500? 90,000?
180 times 500?
Yeah.
90,000, yeah.
90,000. And we're going to add that 90,000 to the 92,400, which is going to give me it's going to be $182,000 that I've invested. Thank you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're good. So I've invested $182,000 from age 18 to age 60 to have $1.3 million. Okay? So you're a millionaire at age 60. Now this is where you start seeing the fruits of your labor. Okay? So I'm going to take this previous value of $130,000 or $1,301,007. Okay? I want my future value to go down to 0. And I just leave it right there. Appreciate you. Thank you. I want to do this. From 60 to 90 is 30 years. 30 times 12 is 30 times, how much? 30 times 12?
Sorry, 3,600.
3,600? Is that right?
Wait, 30 times 12?
360, I think you're right. 360. So now, I'm no longer putting money in the bank. It's still sitting in this account that's rolling 9%. You still with me? I want my future value to go down. So this is what I'm going to get every month. I'm going to get this every month for the next 30 years. So now I'm going to go to payment, and I'm going to go alpha, enter. So I'm going to get $10,000 every month for the next 30 years. Now 10,468. 10,468. Okay, somebody do this math for me.
Yeah, 10,468.
10,468 times 360.
3,768,400.
Okay, keep that number there for a sec.
Yep.
Okay, and can you see the 10,468 still?
No.
Okay, so let's just 10,468. 10,468. 10,468 per month is what your money is now paying you back. And over the lifetime of it, it went up to what number?
Oh, hold on. 3,768,480.
So my friends, for making $182,410 investment over from 18 to 60, which is a lot of years, your net worth, because it started paying you back when you were 60 every month until you're 90, you're getting $10,468, which means over those 360 payments, your net worth was almost $3.8 million. Okay? Friends, I'm doing the math just for the average person. This is not hard to do when you have time on your side. My friends, I just beg you to do one thing for me. Don't wait till you're in your 50s for when you start saving for your retirement. Time is on your side now to start saving. And what was our original saving amount? $100 a month, $1,200 a year. Is that right? And we increased it to $300 a month, increased it to $400 a month, and then increased it to $500 a month while we're making. I mean, friends, you have the knowledge right now to have your money work for you, your $182,000 investment to turn into $3.8 million. That doesn't seem bad to me. Some of you are like, yeah, but only $10,000 a month. Yeah, that's $120,000 a year. This is a very, very frugal, easy way to do it. But the number one factor on your side, friends, is time. You have time now to do this. You have time to start this. And it becomes tough. And a lot of people are like, I don't know how I can do that. Okay? At some point, you're going to be getting jobs. And friends, if you can say, you know what, the first 10% out of every paycheck is going towards my retirement, I can assure you, my friends, this type of skill, and this is just going to increase. Okay, this is kind of looking at just today. But I mean, from 18 to 25, yeah, the $100 a month is probably a reality. But from 25 to 35, the cost of living is increasing, meaning your wages are increasing. So you might not do the $300 a month because your cost of living expenses that you are making allows you to make more than the $300 a month payment. And then your 35 to 45, your cost of living increases. This is all on, if this was a snapshot of just today, if our money, if our dollar was worth the exact same from here until we're 90. So that has nothing to do but grow if you can understand. Take that first 10%. And I will tell you what, there are plenty of places that you could say, hey, my paycheck, the first 10%, when you're working for a company, 10% of my thing gets directed to this account. Okay? Your corporations that you work for will do this for you. It is an unbelievable way. It's an unbelievable way to sit there and say, shoot, retirement's a long way off. I get it. But I'm going to tell you something that I have experienced from age 25 to age 52. It is fast. Time goes so fast. Remember when you were a kid and you'd start school in August and it seemed like forever until winter break? I kid you not. Like, I feel like I woke up yesterday and we just started school. That's how fast, like, the closer my foot is to the grave, the faster life starts going. And I mean, you just ask anybody who, as they're getting older, how fast is life going? It is so much faster. Yes, it's the same amount of time that we're all living, but just how our mind works and how busy you are in life, it's like, oh my gosh, here's another day. Here's another day. Oh, here comes fall. Here comes spring, or here comes winter. Here comes spring. If you live in Colorado, here comes winter again. Here comes spring again. Here comes winter one more time. Here comes, oh, it's now to summer. Okay? It's so fast. I have two daughters that are both in college, and I still remember holding my youngest daughter, Leah. Leah was so small. She was 4 pounds when she was born. Her head to her feet fit right here in my arm. Now, I'm not a big guy, so my distance here, if you're like 6 footer, you're bigger distance. I'm 5'9". This distance here is not that big. I still remember her being born. I still remember holding her right after she's born, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just floored that this little tiny kid is now in my life for the rest of my life, and now she's a junior in college. I kid you not. It is so amazing how fast things go. And the thing is, it is hard to convince yourself to save, but if you can get into the habit of start saying, I want to direct 10%, the first 10% of what I make, I'm saving. Everything else, I do whatever the heck I want with it. First 10% saving. You're saving it for the retirement. Okay? I will tell you right now, if that was my situation right there, when I turn age 60, I would get $120,000 a year, plus I'd get what I'm getting from the state of Colorado as a retiring teacher, because there's a state retirement program. I get what the state of Nevada is going to start giving me. Like, when I crunch these numbers and I do these numbers and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like when my mom passed this past year and I saw my dad's mutual funds, he had about $100,000 in mutual funds. He had $17,000 in liquid savings, and he had like $1,000 in his checking account. And I'm like, how did you retire? So we get money each month because Social Security. That was your retirement plan? Oh yeah, it's fine. Well, Dad, you're bringing in $6,000 a month between mom's Social Security or mom's state retirement, your Social Security, but you're spending $7,000 a month. Dad, you're upside down in your spending habits. Oh, it's fine. Dad, the $100,000 that mom's life insurance policy gave you is now down to $60,000. You spent $40,000 extra over what you were bringing in each month in less than a year. Yeah? Dad, I keep giving you advice on how you need to go through your life. I can assure you, I can show you how to balance your budget. My dad does nothing but lie to me. But yet I'm pulling up his bank account going, Dad, why did you go spend $600 on tires? Oh, I needed them. Dad, a month and a half ago, you got tires on the same damn vehicle. Yeah, they were bad already. Dad, I got an electric car that I light the tires up at about every light, and I've yet to have to put tires on it. I don't get it. And what scares the living hell out of me is my dad is going to wind up filing bankruptcy for the second time in his life because he's spending everything beyond what he can do. And he's going to say, hey, can I move in your basement? And my wife's going to divorce me saying, that's your dad. You take care of that crap. I mean, I kid you not. Those are thoughts that I'm having. But I hope this gives you a little bit of enlightenment of something I think is a relatively easy thing to do. Cool, guys? Did you have fun? Was that